Identity security is facing a significant challenge, one that could have serious implications for organizations. Recent research indicates that many businesses still rely heavily on human intervention for critical security processes, leaving them vulnerable to errors and breaches. On May 22, 2025, a report from Cerby, based on insights from over 500 IT and security leaders, highlighted that fewer than 4% of security teams have fully automated their core identity workflows. Key tasks like managing multi-factor authentication, updating credentials, and revoking access are often performed manually. This reliance on human memory and follow-ups creates gaps that can be easily exploited by attackers. In this video, we'll explore the findings of Cerby's report, the reasons behind the persistent automation gap, and what organizations can do to enhance their identity security. If you find this update helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to InfoSec Now for the latest cybersecurity news. Your support really helps us continue building useful content for cybersecurity professionals. If you found this update helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to InfoSec Now for the latest cybersecurity news. Your support really helps us continue building useful content for cybersecurity professionals. Cerby's research underscores a troubling trend in identity security: the overwhelming dependence on human intervention for critical processes. Only a mere 4% of security teams have achieved full automation of their core identity workflows, which include essential tasks like multi-factor authentication, MFA, enrollment, and credential management. This heavy reliance on manual processes not only introduces inconsistencies but also heightens the risk of errors that can lead to security breaches. The findings reveal that a staggering 41% of end users still manually share or update passwords, often resorting to insecure methods such as spreadsheets and emails. This outdated practice significantly increases the chances of credential misuse. Furthermore, nearly 89% of organizations depend on users to enable MFA manually, which undermines the effectiveness of this critical security measure. Without a consistent enforcement mechanism, the potential for exploitation by attackers rises sharply. IT teams face their own challenges, with 59% resorting to manual methods for user provisioning and deprovisioning. These processes, often managed through ticketing systems or informal follow-ups, are not only slow but also prone to oversight, creating vulnerabilities that could easily be exploited by unauthorized users. The implications of these findings are dire. The Pullman Institute reports that 52% of enterprises have suffered security breaches linked to manual identity work, with many experiencing multiple incidents. The resultant fallout is substantial, with 43% of organizations reporting customer loss and 36% losing partners due to these failures. As the threat landscape evolves, organizations cannot afford to overlook the critical need for automation in identity security. The persistence of the automation gap can be attributed to several factors, including the rapid expansion of applications and fragmented infrastructure. Many organizations struggle with disconnected applications that do not conform to common identity standards, complicating integration efforts. Additionally, the assumption that having a multitude of tools equates to comprehensive coverage has led to further vulnerabilities, particularly as shadow IT proliferates. Despite these challenges, there is a path forward. Organizations can bridge the automation gap without overhauling their entire identity systems by enhancing existing frameworks. Innovative companies are beginning to implement automation across their application ecosystems, even in the absence of native integrations. Some are turning to AI agents to assist in this transition, although a significant portion of security leaders remain hesitant to fully trust AI for core identity tasks. Cerby's report provides actionable insights for organizations aiming to mitigate one of the most significant risks in enterprise security today. By addressing the automation gap, businesses can not only bolster their security posture but also streamline operations and reduce the burden on their IT teams. As organizations grapple with the pressing need for enhanced identity security, the reliance on manual identity management processes creates significant vulnerabilities. With fewer than 4% of security teams fully automating their core identity workflows, the risks associated with human error continue to escalate. This persistent manual handling of critical tasks not only exposes organizations to breaches but also undermines their overall security posture. A staggering 41% of end users still resort to sharing or updating passwords through insecure channels such as spreadsheets and emails. This outdated practice not only complicates password management but also heightens the risk of credential compromise. Additionally, nearly 89% of organizations depend on users to manually enable multi-factor authentication, MFA, which, despite being a robust security measure, becomes ineffective without strict enforcement. This lack of consistency creates exploitable gaps that threat actors are quick to capitalize on. The inefficiencies extend to IT operations, where 59% of teams manage user provisioning and deprovisioning without automation. Manual ticketing systems and informal follow-ups lead to delays and errors, leaving organizations vulnerable to unauthorized access. The consequences of these oversights are stark, with 52% of enterprises admitting to experiencing security breaches linked to manual identity processes. The downstream effects are profound, including customer losses and damaged partnerships, highlighting that the stakes are higher than ever. The persistence of these manual gaps can be attributed to the rapid growth of disconnected applications and fragmented infrastructure. As organizations adopt a myriad of tools and platforms, achieving cohesive control over identity management becomes increasingly elusive. This fragmented landscape not only complicates the integration of security measures but also fosters an environment where stopgap solutions, like password managers and manual scripts, fail to scale effectively. To address these challenges, organizations must shift their focus from relying solely on human intervention to embracing comprehensive automation solutions. Forward-thinking companies are already making strides by integrating automation across their application ecosystems, even in the absence of native integrations. The adoption of AI-driven solutions is also on the rise, with many security leaders open to a collaborative approach that combines human oversight with automated processes. Ultimately, closing the automation gap in identity management is not just a technical challenge, it is a critical imperative for safeguarding enterprise security in an increasingly complex threat landscape. Organizations that proactively address these vulnerabilities will not only enhance their security posture but also position themselves for sustainable growth in a digital-first world. As organizations grapple with the pressing need for automation in identity security, several challenges hinder progress. One significant barrier is the sheer volume of disconnected applications that populate enterprise environments. These applications often lack the common identity standards necessary for seamless integration, complicating efforts to automate workflows effectively. With an increasing number of applications being introduced across various business functions, the potential for security vulnerabilities grows, as each application may not adhere to the same security protocols. Moreover, the assumption that simply deploying more tools equates to comprehensive coverage is misleading. Many IT and security teams find themselves managing a complex landscape that includes software as a service, SaaS, mobile, cloud, and on-premises systems. This sprawling infrastructure can obscure visibility and control, making it difficult to ensure that all applications are secured and monitored consistently. Additionally, the reliance on stopgap solutions such as password managers and manual scripts often results in fragmented security practices. While these tools may provide temporary relief, they are not designed to scale effectively across an organization. As organizations attempt to patch gaps in their identity management processes, they inadvertently create a web of fragile solutions that can lead to operational inefficiencies and increased risk. Despite these challenges, there is a growing recognition among forward-thinking organizations that closing the automation gap is essential. They are beginning to explore innovative approaches, such as leveraging AI agents to assist in automating core identity tasks. However, trust in AI remains a significant hurdle, with a notable percentage of security leaders expressing skepticism about fully relying on AI for critical functions. This highlights the need for a balanced approach that combines automation with human oversight, allowing teams to harness the benefits of technology while maintaining control over sensitive processes. In summary, the journey toward achieving automation in identity security is fraught with obstacles, but organizations that proactively address these challenges stand to enhance their security posture significantly. By recognizing the importance of integrating automation across their application ecosystems, they can reduce reliance on manual processes and mitigate the risks associated with human error. As organizations confront the pressing need to close the automation gap in identity security, several strategic steps are emerging. First and foremost, organizations must reassess their reliance on manual processes and prioritize automation in core identity workflows. This includes automating user provisioning and deprovisioning, which currently remains a manual task for 59% of IT teams. By implementing automated solutions, organizations can significantly reduce the risk of unauthorized access and streamline their operational efficiency. Next, organizations should focus on integrating their disparate applications. The fragmented nature of many enterprise systems often leads to security vulnerabilities. A cohesive approach to identity management ensures that all applications adhere to common identity standards, thereby enhancing security and reducing the complexity of managing multiple systems. This integration can also facilitate the enforcement of security measures like multi-factor authentication, MFA, which, despite being highly effective, is still manually enabled by nearly 89% of organizations. Moreover, the potential of artificial intelligence in this domain cannot be overlooked. While 78% of security leaders express hesitancy in trusting AI for core identity tasks, there is a growing acceptance of a collaborative model where human oversight complements automated processes. This hybrid approach can help bridge the trust gap while leveraging AI's capabilities to enhance security measures. Additionally, organizations are encouraged to adopt a proactive mindset regarding identity security. With 52% of enterprises having experienced breaches linked to manual identity processes, the urgency for automation is clear. By viewing identity security as a primary control plane rather than a background function, companies can better allocate resources and attention to this critical area. Finally, leveraging solutions from specialized providers like Cerby can offer organizations the flexibility needed to implement automation effectively. These tools can enhance existing systems without necessitating a complete overhaul, allowing teams to focus on achieving comprehensive identity automation. The path to closing the automation gap is not merely about technology. It's about redefining organizational priorities and embracing a culture of security that prioritizes automation at every level. Future directions and best practices. As organizations navigate the complexities of identity security, a shift towards comprehensive automation is not just beneficial but essential. To effectively close the automation gap, businesses must prioritize a holistic approach that integrates identity management across all applications and systems. This involves re-evaluating existing infrastructures and moving away from fragmented, manual processes that leave vulnerabilities exposed. One promising direction is the adoption of unified identity platforms that can seamlessly integrate with a wide range of applications, regardless of their origin. By leveraging these platforms, organizations can ensure that identity workflows are standardized and automated, thereby reducing the reliance on manual interventions that often lead to errors. This transition not only enhances security but also streamlines operations, allowing IT teams to focus on strategic initiatives rather than repetitive tasks. Moreover, organizations should consider implementing a layered security strategy that incorporates both automation and human oversight. While automation can handle routine tasks, a collaborative human-in-the-loop model can provide the necessary checks and balances to ensure that critical identity operations are executed with precision. This approach builds trust in automated systems while acknowledging the need for human judgment in complex scenarios. Education and training are also pivotal in this transition. By equipping employees with the knowledge and tools to understand and utilize automated identity solutions, organizations can foster a culture of security awareness. This proactive stance not only mitigates risks associated with human error but also empowers users to engage with security protocols confidently. In addition to these strategies, organizations should actively seek out and implement advanced technologies, such as artificial intelligence and machine learning, to enhance their identity security frameworks. These technologies can identify patterns in user behavior, detect anomalies, and automate responses to potential threats, further fortifying the security posture. Ultimately, the path to closing the identity security automation gap lies in a commitment to continuous improvement and innovation. By embracing best practices that prioritize automation, integration, and education, organizations can navigate the evolving landscape of cyber threats and safeguard their critical assets more effectively. If you found this update helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to InfoSec Now for the latest cybersecurity news. Your support really helps us continue building useful content for cybersecurity professionals.